Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man.
Okay, people, gather round. The Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man show. Is he still alive? Wait, hold on, I'm not done. Trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2. Is he still alive?
He is Dr. Evil.
Why is he still alive, and why did you answer when I was asking number 2? I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Number 2!
A plan is in the works, Dr. Evil.
This is wonderful news, number 2. Over 1,000 days in a row, we've managed to keep the world from knowing he exists.
Dr. Evil, he's still going and doesn't care.
Well, we need to find another way to stop the show. He's making me look bad, you know? Yeah, no. Perhaps we can make him look like racist or something?
That may work, Dr. Evil.
Perhaps we can get the media to cancel him?
This is your best idea yet, Dr. Evil.
Okay, number 2. Get me Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. Dr. Fauci is on the evil monitor.
Thank you, number 2. Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Evil. It's Dr. Fauci.
Well, Dr. Fauci. It looks like the gig is up. The Renaissance Man show knows all about you.
Look, they created a character after me. We gotta squash him like the friggin' mouse that he is. He calls me a weasel, Fauci. I'm not a weasel, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Fauci, okay? Don't call me Dr. Weasel Fauci, okay? Because that's anecdotal.
Anecdotal Fauci. That's what they're always making fun of you about. That you're always anecdotal.
No, I know. It's like I said, that everything's anecdotal.
Excellent. Dr. Fauci, initiate the final plan.
They never even asked you. Welcome, family and friends, to the Mark Pyre's Renaissance Man Show. We are live every single day of the year for unscripted live comedy, songwriting in the moment, and total inspiration. So join us on a tour of some of the accomplishments and content created in the first 1,000 days, and counting, of Renaissance Man. Since January 1st, 2021, 170 songs have been written and released on iTunes and Spotify. Though my monthly streak has come to an end, I will be dropping many albums for you going forward. Join us for the live comedy news every night of the year. 7 stories are chosen, SNL Weekend update style. I've also released 4 feature comedy films: Batmark vs. Supermark, Three's Company the Breakup Artist, A Christmas Story, and Peter Bishop, the Wolf of Crypto. BB Poo Poo! Things were pretty bad for BB Poo Poo at the beginning. Within these comedies, many original characters have surfaced. You know, we have Batmark, Dick Facce, which he doesn't look like this really, but that's Foch. And then, of course, Supermark, who's pretty freaking super if you ask me. Just saying. Hammerlin Jameson's a bit of a drunkard, and he tried to get the role of Supermark. It didn't go well. He does all right at a side gig of, newscaster situation. But you can see in that top photo, he's not doing too well these days. Anyway. Dr. Wayne Doppler, tallest man alive, 8'9", Guinness, and he's also in the Batmark and Supermark movie. And Dr. Weasel Fauci, if you don't know who he is, we have 5,647 masks, especially if you're going to Mars. Stuck on Mars. I will be making a movie out of that. Sid 45, make sure you don't get rupees. Sid has rupees literally pouring out of his igloo. Francesco Vigilughi. Look, if you ever need a cartographer, there's just one guy. The Curious Case of Ben Affleck Head. It's about a guy with a head so large, he could literally change the poles. Oh, Dystopia 2021. If you missed that, that's the world we're living in today. If you haven't seen it, I did a couple episodes on it. And of course, we have many episodes of Spider-Mark, Peter Marker. If you didn't know, check it out. Mark Pyres of the Caribbean. That was a hilarious movie. And then if you can't dance, you just, watch this episode. There's 2 of them. Really good stuff. And did you watch Match Game? I did it. And Pressure Luck in it. We did a little Pressure Luck style too, Peter DeMarkin. And if you didn't see Waterworld 2027, I'm the last one left because of the bugaboo. We did many other homages to movies, and TV shows, and Facce Mulder.
Sonny, you still got the cough?
There are over 100 insane scenes with Dick Facce. And then of course I saved the world, saved all the animals and stuff too.
Zucker Chooch, are you kidding me? Excuse me, are you freaking kidding me?
We did a couple of raps this year. My Aunt Judy told me I could do a rapper's delight and took a poop in my double diaper. Back to the Future, Mark. Guys, the next movie that's coming out, Back to the Future, Mark. You may not remember some of the characters that I was in the past, so let's just go over it in real time. Marxist, I did it. 10 Commandments. Mark Stradamus, telling the future, of course. Oh, and the artwork I created as Leonardo da Vinci. The Mona Lisa, when I got that freaking red, like murdering a family. That was what, O.J. Simpson of the 1600s. Hey, Michelangelo, after you finish that, sculpture, you think you could paint this ceiling? Got it. Circumnavigating the globe is Mark Jellin. Markola Tesla? If I didn't do my time here as Markola, you guys would have nothing when it comes to electricity. I still can't believe it. I'm sitting there, I'm writing the Fur Elise, right? I'm in the middle of it, and they're scratching it out, and they're writing freaking that hack Beethoven's name on it, right? Don't even get me started on what they did when I was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Doing the fifth and taking all that work. And then, like modern days, when I'm doing Mark and M, doing the 8 Mile situation. Like Mark and M's the man now, but I paved the way as the Marktorious B.I.G. as well. When I was Mark Claude Van Damme, I remember that one. Oh, Mark Schwarzenegger? You didn't know I was Mark Schwarzenegger? Yeah, that was funny when I worked next to DeVito. The Emancipation Marklamation of 1863. I did my time as Abraham Mark Lincoln. You guys didn't know I was Abraham Mark? You guys are all Mark Della. That's why this is all part of the Mark Della effect. Everybody's like, Mandela, man. No, it's Mark Della. Get with it. And then the time I was Mark Guyver, remember, you give me a freaking toothpick and some tooth floss and we're off. I'm building a bomb. So that's just a good overview of a lot of the shows, not all of them. We have tons of new gear up on the website, guys, markpires.com. And there you can pick up your gear, you can pick up a signed CD, and also don't forget about beatseat.rocks, my invention that I patented. This is her sitting on it, and this is a little demo I made. Welcome to BeatSeat.rocks. My name is Mark Pires, and I'm the inventor of the Beat Seat. Today I'm going to share all of the details of the Beat Seat. It's the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. It's got 4 playable panels, omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. It's the first drum you could sit completely upright and play with your hands and feet at the same time. It's the Beat Seat. It's the only drum that you can play with your hands and feet while sitting completely upright. Anything you'd play in a drum kit, you could play on this, because you're playing with your entire body, but you're sitting upright. Your feet do this. So that's the Beat Seat, the ultimate percussion drum. You can play it with your hands, with your feet at the same time. It has unlimited tones. There's so much to explore. I hope to build one for you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. And of course, fam, I can't leave you without a little bit of motivation. So take these quotes with you as we get ready to rock for one more night. And yes, we will be doing it again tomorrow. So, until I see you in just a moment, it's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
When the wind starts blowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way.
Tickets are available at the box office. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean. As you exit the auditorium, please deposit litter in trash receptacles in the lobby. Please be considerate and don't talk during the show.
Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show.
It's Wednesday. It's Mark Pyers.
I was walking
And it's Renaissance Man. I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's Renaissance Man. It's daily variety show Mark Pyers Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 1,164 in a row of the Renaissance Man Show. We're going to get into it just like we do every single night, fam and fret. What's that? No, Joanne, I'm in the middle of a monologue here. You're going to start talking to me, middle start monologue. You hear Zabrowski's getting ready. He's going to do a woohoo in a minute. You're back there interrupting me. We're trying to say hi to the Renaissance Man fam. Here down here, 1,164 days in a row. I got a Weezer back there. She's trying to take me off my game. You know what, Joanne? I didn't appreciate that. You know, I'm doing it. Trying to just let you guys know we're getting into it again. Day 1,164 in a row of live improvisation, live songwriting, inspirational content. What are we talking about? And then Joanne out of nowhere doing the Weezeroo. Oh, oh, God almighty, right? TikTok, they're like, I don't know if I could hear that Weezer back there. Zabrowski, are you ready for a woohoo? Because we're ready to get a friggin' woohoo.
amazing how often I forget the old days.
Yes. Guys, I wrote this song 2006. Doing it. Zabrowski, he played the freaking drums.
There's something to live for, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's something to die for, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me something to live for, yeah, yeah.
Let me get a little steel drums action. This is me playing the steel drums on my guitar, by the way. Let me get it, surprise, break it down.
There's something to live for, something to live for. I need more.
Let me get it.
Something to die for. Oh, won't you give me more? Hey, so many perfect ways to spend your days.
So many perfect ways, my fam and friends.
Wow, there's something to live for, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me something to die for, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me something to live for, yeah. Something to die for, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's Zabrowski. I need a woo-woo or what? I need a woo-woo. I'm hoping it's a good one tonight, guys. Give me it. Ah, that was freaking good, right? See, people don't realize when they hear the woo-hoo every night that that's because of how freaking awesome that song was. I was in the studio watching Zabrowski like freaking rock. He's literally going, boom, bop. I'm watching his head. He's bopping. And I'm like, I'm looking at Brian, the engineer. I'm like, yo, he's freaking tearing it up right now. That and on another song called We've Got Time. That dude was like, his head was like, boom. We've Got Time. I got to play that for you guys. It's on that album from 2007.
Zabrowski's a beast. He is a beast. He deserves a Grammy on the freaking drums. He just happened to get one for a woohoo. You know, when you got a woohoo that good, the Grammy committee takes notice. Gets the woohoo Grammy. I mean, I'm proud of him. You know, I wish I got the woohoo for my song. I mean, the Grammy for the song, but they didn't really pay attention to me. Grammy committee, they were like, whatever. Song was good, but the woohoo was better. Grammy. What's that, Zabrosk? No, Zabrosk. You can't have a 7th yoo-hoo. We give him 6 a day. It's in the green room. He shows up, gets his yoo-hoo. He drinks it down, does his woohoo, goes back to the city. He's got a family. He's got things to do. You know, I get it, Zabrosk. But I'm about to do the news. You're not going to stick around for the news? Whew. What's that, Joanne? No, Joanne, your wheezing is out of control. She says, is my wheezing okay today? It's friggin' terrible. Right? Guys, I've been dropping so many comedy news stories on a daily on YouTube. You got to get over there. I'm putting them on TikTok as much as I can. But the full comedies are on YouTube. They're between 2 minutes and 12 minutes, essentially. And they're news stories. You're about to see today's 7 news stories. And every day we do this. And I'm trying to drop them again after the shows because they're so freaking crazy silly. And the one I'm dropping for you tomorrow is absolutely out of control. You got to go and follow me on YouTube. Guys, if you don't follow me on YouTube, you don't watch this one tomorrow. You're out of your friggin' minds. It is nuts. It's about Joanne going down the hallway to the porta potty. She does a porta potty, and that is a freaking out of control bit. I was crying watching it earlier, and I'm thinking I tried to get it out today, but I dropped 3 pieces of content today, 3 long form pieces of content on YouTube, and I'm live for 2+ hours right now. And every day we're doing that forever. So if you want to be a part of something that's happening, magic. This is literally, we live in the moment. There's no script here, and we're just trying to elevate everybody's perspective on life. There's nothing out there that's inspiring us to be great. It's everything is trying to build fear up within us, so we just hide within a cocoon. And you know, I'm not doing that. I show up here every day and I express myself fully. And this is all I can hope we can get to in with ourselves, in our lives, is full expression. It is the only way to stay happy. And happiness is not a word that is, you know, it's a flexible word. It's not just such a, you know, people are very rigid on what they believe happiness is. It's not rigid. It's very flexible. I use a 51% as I actually made t-shirts. I didn't make them, but I made a design. It wasn't very good, but that your happiness is at 51%. All you need to do is get to 51, and then you've got 100% control over your happiness. And it's the half glass, you know, glass half full concept. But when you're the CEO of a company of 51%, you're able to make all the decisions. You can control the direction of that company. This is essentially the same thing when it comes to your happiness. You don't need to be 100% happy. I'm jumping off the freaking wall. No, that's just me when I'm here and I'm feeling the energy of what we do here live in the moment. But we all have ups and downs in life. And the reality is we need to bounce back. We need to find a way to jump into the light together, to find our way out of all of the, I guess I would say, the stressful scenarios that are going on in all areas of our lives. We need to break away for a few hours every day. That's what the Renaissance Man Show is. So I hope you'll give me a follow here. I hope you guys will share this show and let people know that we're here every day forever. I'm going on my 4th year. I'm on my 4th year in a row live, guys, every single day for 4 years. This is 1,164 days in a row of 2+ hours of variety. I have 3 kids and I have a wife. I do this every day for free because the world seems to be dying from my seat. And so every day I show up and I'm just like, okay, I'll keep trying, you know, and I just keep showing up. And I don't know what kind of impact can happen because the reality of the narrative that's being strewn upon everybody is, it's hard to break through that if you're not down. And anybody who watches this show knows that we're not down. I just dropped a new Joe Biden face swap yesterday. Every time I get out, they pull me back in. Like I stopped doing political stuff. And then all of a sudden the Joe Biden face swap came about, which I mean, just so you guys can hear I dropped a 20-second short on TikTok and on YouTube earlier of this. The whole thing is only 3.5 minutes, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want you to see this short because this is one of the points that I tried to make in this face swap. The reason why these face swaps are effective is because they're funny, but also because they're 100% based in truth too. They're silly, but truthful. And so basically what happens here is, I guess I don't have the whole, I only have the whole thing. I'm going to play you the whole thing. It's only 3 minutes and 19 seconds. So here on TikTok, you guys are going to be listening to this, but you'll hear a few things, and I'll try to flip the screen, okay, so you can see it too. Here we go. This right here is called "Ukraine Not Blame Me for Anything," and it's live on YouTube, the whole thing. Plus, it's also on TikTok. I put the full version minus the last second. Like, there's one more thing Trump says at the end that you didn't hear. And by the way, I just gave it away, but the Trumper is in this.
And he's taking...
All right, let me try to flip this. So
It's Felix Robertson live from the White House. We're going to Joe Biden. He's taking questions today. How about that?
Look, I'm going to read off of this little card here because I can't find my teleprompter. Vicky Davis, what do you got for me?
Mr. President, I'm really excited to ask you this question. Are we going to be able to see an end to this war? And I have one more question for you. What do we do when you say that you shut down the pipeline because it hurts Russia, but you shut down our pipeline?
Well, that's a good question. Look, my Aunt Judy told me that I should shut it down. She told me I didn't need to have it anymore. Said that our pipeline wasn't good, you see. Yeah, when we shut down Russia's, it's not good. But when we shut down ours, it helps America. Come on, man. My Aunt Judy told me, shut down the pipeline. Anything that Trump was involved with, we gotta stop. Full stop ahead. I want you to put your hands up in the air like you gotta stop it, I'm gonna do an executive order. I thought it was better for our country to not have a Keystone Pipeline by Trump. So we stopped it in its tracks. Well, that's at least what I'm thinking before I poop my double diaper. What else we got over here? What else we got? How about you over there with the smelly farts? I'm sorry, I pooped my double diaper.
Yes, it's Peter Ducci. I just wanted to find out, why are you the worst president in the history of time? Inquiring minds want to know if you're going to save the people of Ukraine or if your son Hunter is in the way and a personal liability to you. And I have another question as well.
Well, look, my Aunt Judy always said that Hunter's not the problem. Everybody wants to bring Hunter up. Look, I'm here to try to save the world. Look, I was the highest voted president in the history of time. 80 million votes. And we're here trying to save the country again. Oh, sorry, I'm falling asleep here on camera. I can do with my eyes open now. That's something that my Aunt Judy taught me. What other questions you got? I know you got one more there, Ducci.
My second question is, why would you talk about insulin like it's your idea when you executive ordered Donald Trump's $30 a month insulin off the first day you were in office?
Look, that's not as anecdotal as Dr. Fauci would say. I didn't do that. I'm here to try to bring the prices down of insulin. I didn't know it. Look, I'm not going to try to argue with you. I'm just telling you that I definitely did my best to bring insulin prices down. And I refute your suggestion that Donald Trump had reduced prices of insulin. I don't remember it.
Excuse me. Today I'm announcing that I am reducing the price of insulin to $30 a month. Winning big league. Everybody who's got diabetes is winning big league now because of the Trumper.
So suffice to say, face swaps are back.
You can get this
and I
pack
shouldn't
of
be doing
emergency
it
food
because
bars
people
so
are
that
obviously
you
so
can be ready for
sensitive
any food crisis.
2022.
Power
But you know
outages,
what?
floods,
Guys, they're freaking hilarious. And when we were doing all the Dr. Evil stuff back in the day, I stopped doing that just because everybody's a freaking Karen out there, Just deal with comedy. It's comedy. What the freaking hell, man? I'm trying to fix this so that people on TikTok can see something normal on the screen. There we go. So, guys, what do you think of the Fauci swap, eh? Joanne, you couldn't put my jacket on a hanger and do a hangaroo? You put the jacket in the closet. I go in there in the morning. It's warm, right by the heater. You know, I put it on. It's not all wrinkly. No, I don't expect you to get up now. But before I go live, before I go on the air, before you shackle yourself in because of the hot air balloon carditis where you start to float up and go, like, I get it. Before you do the shackling in and you're there for the night, file drawing it and wheezing it out, you take my jacket, you throw it in a hanger, drop it in the freaking closet over there next to the heater. And I'll thank you for it, okay? What's that? No, Joanne. No. I don't expect you to press my jacket at this point, but God almighty, you know. The fact that I had to throw it on the ground like that, Joanne, and you're just there wheezing it up. So loud too, right, guys? TikTok, I'm seeing all these messages. They're like, holy freaking cow. Loudest wheezer in the whole world, that Joanne is. It's almost like deafening how loud. Right this second. Guys, I had to scream over it. I'm sorry. It's so loud in here. I was trying to, for a moment there, you couldn't hear me over the Weezer. So I had to and finally I broke through the sound barrier that she created with her wheeze. And then you heard me go, guys, I'm here. Remember me, the host of the show. Weezer back there. Joanne, you know, when I hired you, it wasn't to be the Weezer who takes me off my game, the lady who just causes me to basically lose my voice on a daily because I have to scream over your friggin' wheeze. You know? But I guess we deal with what we have to deal with in life. You know, that's fine. Joanne, you dare throw your doll hair at me. You know, it was a cold and dreary night, I would say, and Joanne comes on knocking on the studio door. Hey, my name is Joanne. I wanted to see if I could be your program director. I was like, what? I don't even know if I need a program director. I'm doing it, you know? And she goes, no, I want to help out get interviews. I'm like, man, you sound a lot like George Soros. She's like, I'm adopted. Red flag number one. So I said to her, look, all I can do is pay you about $500 an episode. She's like, I'm in. I'm a huge fan of the show. I get it. You know, I get it. So I said, okay, Joanne, that's fine. You come in. All right, I have a contract. I went in here with Microsoft Word in it. I laid it out. I dropped it on her desk. Said, Joanne, you make sure you read this contract or you get a lawyer. You do the attorney sitch. The two of you are getting into it. Oh, what about Clause B, Article 9? You know, that whole thing? You do the Article 9, Clause B thing. You come back to the table. Hey, you know what, Mark? We have a couple questions about Article 9, Clause B. You know, I get it. I know the Clause B was a little out there, you know, but we did it. She comes back. I don't need to look at any. I don't need an attorney. I was in, you know, pre-law, whatever the frig that means. Pre-law? Okay, that was like where you were in preschool one day and now you're an adult. So she's looking. She signs it. Little does she know, after the first week of work, I hit her up with 7 days worth of doll hair, $500 doll hairs a day. I'm there cutting them and putting them into an envelope. Gary V in it. You go out to a tag sale and you're up against Gary V, you better bring your freaking wit. You better bring your wit. You know? You got your wit. You're bringing it to the tag sale. Gary V shows up. Crushing it. I'm going to buy this Barbie. My daughter wants a Barbie. I'm sorry, Gary V. You lost out. I came in with my wit today. All right? I'm taking those doll hair. I have to pay Joanne. $500 hairs an episode. It's a big deal, Renaissance Man Show. So I'm not going to go buy a real new Barbie to make $500, you know? So I'm doing the thrifty. I'm doing the Gary Vee. I'm going to the tax. I'm picking up all the Barbies, chopping off their heads. You know, I'm cutting off the hair. $500 hairs to Joanne. Bum, 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 bum. Every once in a while, she throws an envelope package at my head, tries to get me. I gotta do a Bruce Lee, you know, and just, you know, get out of the way. You gotta show your reflexes like a cat. Guys, what do we have in the news today, Joanne? Anything good? What did you pull today, Joanne? Joanne pulls all the stories, and she's, you know, wheezing at the time. Next, first story. Joanne, I can't go to a next story when it's the first story. Okay. She said that was the teleprompter. It says it on the top. Next story. You know, Joanne, when you started off on a sour note, the Renaissance fam notices. The Renaissance fam starts to say, you know, and those are words right there. They come through as words when they look that way at the screen. First story of the day, Joanne. Scientists try to solve mystery of 300-year-old mummified mermaid. Joanne, we found your family members. You got because you got that weird, you know, tail thing going on. Are you related? You know, you got a tail. They got freaking, you know, mermaid. They got a fin. They got a mermaid fin, and you got a tail. Together, you guys are probably from the same genealogy. I'm just saying, we're going to do a 23andMe. We got you, found out your father's George Soros. We conned him in. You beinged him over the head. We took a hair, 23andMe in it. Found it out. Maury Povich, you are the father. That was a good one. But guys, when you're dealing with a friggin' mermaid, 3,000-year-old mermaid that somebody was, let's just see what we got over here. Ready? They had this somewhere, obviously. Japanese scientists have started investigating mysterious mermaid mummy that has long been an object of worship at a temple in Akayama Prefecture. Joanne, I freaking nailed it. You know, sometimes when you're challenged with a name like Akayama Prefecture, you know, and you just do it, so they pay you the big bucks. What's that? No, I know, Joanne, you're the only one who gets paid something here. Doll hairs. A team of researchers from the Karayeshi... Joanne, stop it with the friggin' doll hair envelopes. A researcher team. Now I gotta go reverse it, Joanne? What are you kidding me? Yes, a team of researchers from the Karashiki University of Science and the Arts are conducting scientific analysis of the mummified remains of a mysterious icon to determine what they are actually composed of. The mermaid mummy, which measures around 1 foot, Joanne, has earned its name for having an upper body that appears to be human and a lower body that looks like a fishtail. The 300-year-old mummy, which has retained its nails, teeth, and hair over the years, has also maintained the eerie expression of a screaming child. Kazun Koda, jeez, Joanne, Kozen Koida, the chief priest at Enjuin Temple in the city of Asakuchi. Joanne! The Asakuchi! You gotta go down, dude! You're Asakuchi! Huh, you gotta be kidding me. We keep running into stuff like this. So hold on, I'm on it. So you telling me you have a choice between the Asakuchi. You have to figure out which one you want, you know? Yeah, Asakuchi. I'm not sure. I'm going to do Asakuchi. Hey, I'm going to be one or the other. I may go double decker on it. I'm Asakuchiing it. You know what I mean? Like, you're there thinking, I'm an assy. I'm going to assy. I'm an assy guy. Yeah, maybe. Somebody has a Gucci guy over there. I'm doing Asakuchi. I'm doing a double decker. When you got an Asakuchi, Joanne back there, no one wants to go near that Asakuchi. I'm just saying, you know, she's there dealing with Asakuchi. And, you know, it's a temple. And when she's just, you know, you have to make sure you keep your temple clean. You know, you want to make sure when you have guests, you've got visitors to the temple, the Asakuchi, and they're not sure which one they're going to visit today. They may go to the Asa, they may go to Kuchi, and they're just not really sure where they're going to be. But when they go there, if you're not ready with a clean temple, you know, it could be a very, very, you know, difficult day to, I guess you would say, perhaps navigate the Asakuchi, because sometimes, you know, you're just not sure. You're just not sure. So look, at the end of the day, this is what happens when you're out there and somebody tells you that they're down with the Asakuchi. They're just like, well, you're just not sure which one, Which one did you want though? Like, it's a difficult thing about courting. You're courting, you're having that date, you're doing it, you're having like the pizza, you're having that, oh, I love this pizza. It's so good. I love having this time with you. That's great. So what are you into? Asakuchi. Which one? What are you doing? Asakuchi. When you're trying to figure it out, all you're looking for is a little advice. That guy over there's an Asa guy. I know. He told me. I'm like, which one are you into? Over there? Totally into the cooch. Yeah, but like, you can't. I guess you can't go for both when you're doing Asakuchi. It's like it's one or another, And Kuzen, hey Joanne, with Kuzen, did you know, was he an Asakuchi guy? What did he do? Sometimes when you're there and you're admiring the Asakuchi, you're just like, it's good looking, That's a good looking Asakuchi. Like, double-deckering it. They took the artifact from the wooden box where it had been stored inside the school's veterinary hospital for an examination on February 2nd. No, Joanne, I know I could have done another 9 minutes on that. We have worshipped it, hoping that it would have alleviated the corona pooper pandemaroo, even if only slightly. The head priest was quoted by Asahi Shimbun saying, I hope the research project can leave scientific records for future generations. According to Koida, the mummy had been put on display for public viewing about 40 years ago, but it was recently stored in a fireproof safe so it wouldn't deteriorate the Asakuchi. The note inside the box claims that the mysterious creature was caught in a fishing net on the coast of Tosa province between 1736 and 1741. Joanne, how can you believe that? We're talking about almost 300 years ago. The mummy was passed on to other owners after the turn of the Meiji era. That's from 1868 to 1912, Joanne, in case you didn't know that. Like you can't just pull that up, Dewey Decimal System. There it is. That's right. It's, it's the Meiji era. Whatever. And ended up being acquired by the Enjuin Temple. That's we're talking about the Asakuchi. You got an Asakuchi, you're like one or the other or both. Some people are into both. Some people are one. They're like, I'm really into the Asa. I'm really into the Cooch. Some people are like, I'm admiring both. It just depends on what kind of guy you are or girl. Look, 2022. The remains are to be studied from a variety of academic perspectives. Harashiri, Joanne, Harashiri, Joanne, Hiroshi Kanashita, a 54-year-old board member of the Okayama Folklore Society, will study the mummy for a viewpoint of folklore studies, while Takafumi Kato, a 54-year-old paleontology professor, will conduct morphology analysis on the upper body of the artifact. Joanne, did you know about Takafumi and his abilities to do that as a paleontology professor? Like when you're there and you're watching him doing the paleontology professoring and he's looking around it and he's being a Takafumi sometimes, you're like, dude, don't be a freaking Takafumi to me. You know what I mean? You could do it when you're in a bad mood. You can be a Takafumi to someone. I get it. But like, don't be a Takafumi to me. Just like walking down the street and you're just being a Takafumi. Like then we have a problem. I'm just letting you know now. Yeah, you have to know what you're getting into. Renaissance Man Show. Guys, Takafumi. Meanwhile, an associate professor that specializes in ichthyology. What is, Joey, Joanne, what's ichthyology? Ichthyology. Joanne, what's ichthyology? They'll study the fish's lower body, and an associate professor with expert. Did you Google it? Joanne, when I ask you what, ichthyology is, and you're like, and then you don't freaking look it up,
I'm here. I'm doing the story. And you're there doing a Weezer? You can't go.
You're just opening and closing that cabinet, the file cabinet. Zabrowski left 20 minutes ago, and you're still freaking doing the file cabinet. I was like, what are we dealing with here? No, Joanne, you're fine. It doesn't sound like your wheeze is at a freaking, 10. It's like maybe an 8 right now. The researchers are set to release their findings in the fall of this year. So, guys, that was really a poor way to end it, Joanne. You got in the way with your wheeze. I'm doing a story, killing it. We're telling it. Fukuyami, what was his name again? Fukushima? Takafumi? We had a Takafumi connection going. Joanne comes in with a wheeze. All of a sudden, the researchers are set to release their findings in fall of this year. What the frickin' heck, Joanne? You couldn't wait? One more line? You got the teleprompter. You know one more line from finishing. You can't just wait and to come and disrupt the show? Oh, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm here trying to do it. She's back there doing a weezeroo. Oh, goodness. Joanne, what do we have next? Oh, thank you, Joanne. Next story on the list. You really are the worst, though, Joanne. Just so you know, I got to lift her up and then knock her right the friggin' back down. You know what I'm saying? Guys, what we're dealing with now, this is some crazy stuff. I don't even know what the hell this is. This story didn't work. Joanne, you pulled a crap story again. One more strike against Joanne. It's amazing to me. I keep doing it, and she keeps doing that. You giving me this thing? What is this guy on the screen doing with that freaking beard? Hold on. Oh, here we go. A crypto investor lost $120,000 from cricket. Joanne, when you do the teleprompter too quickly, sometimes I get tongue-tied because of you, That's on you, Joanne. Now I got to go back and reverse again. A crypto investor lost $120,000 from clicking on the wrong link, Joanne, a bad link. Clicked on it, lost 120K, and now he's out. There's no coming back. You lost it. It's gone forever. So don't click on a bad link. It's moral story on that one, right, Joanne? Right? You clicked on a bad link. What are we supposed to do about that? Oh, you clicked on a link that was eBay with 2 Y's, and you wonder what happened? Oh, I went to Coinbase with 2 O's and an I and a Q. There was a Q in there. You went to the Coinbase with a Q? Q-U-O-N-B-A-S-E? Oh, it looks sort of like just maybe it's a spelling error and just this moment. You went for that old gag? Oh yeah, I just got a new notification from Binance. Oh really? Yeah, it's with 2 E's and N and a Q in there. Oh, Binance with the Q. Yeah, that's the one. You're gonna want to click that link. You're gonna want to connect your wallet to that one. Oh, MetaMask? You got MetaMask but with a QUE at the end? And you wondering what was wrong? Oh, I went to MetaMask with a QUE at the end. Oh, you spelled mask with MASQUE? No, I'm sorry. That's the wrong MetaMask. You just lost 120K. But you were like, yay, MetaMask. It's amazing to me that you didn't know how to spell MetaMask after putting 120K into the MetaMask wallet, Oh, maybe they changed the spelling today. Here you go. There's my 12 seed phrases. You did a seed phrase? Giving it up. Here you go. Chimney. Fart. Biden. Destroy. Economy. America. Downhill. Spiral. Sleep sofa. Joe. Joey. Futon. Bumbling. Biden. We keep going. I mean, we're going to that's the seed phrases. You use those and you just got another 120K that guy left out there. He put the seed phrase for that one out there. Those I was just telling you. So guys, bottom line, we're doing it. What's the next story, Joanne? Anything good here? Black holes are proof we're living in a, this is crazy, guys, holographic universe. Let's see what this is about. New math helps to define and explore the surface and interior of black holes. String theory turns objects into systems of numbers that can be studied. Holographic duality could help link standard model and relatively... Joanne, what the friggin' you doing it again? God almighty, guys, you're doing a teleprompter and I'm just here trying to do the freaking show, you know what I mean? Now I gotta reverse it again. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Holographic duality could help link standard model and relativity physics for good. Black holes have a complex shape. Inside, gravity exists in 3 dimensions. But black holes are also connected to outside particles and magnetic fields that only exist in 2 dimensions, Joanne. I bet you didn't know that. You knew that? Super genius back there, you know? But black holes, yes. Well, yeah, would you say, Joanne, about your black holes? You go out and get the black hole in the space. I'll put it together. Guys, so when you talk about a black hole and both of the dimensions on 3 dimensions at the same time, Joanne, you're in both dimensions and 3 dimensions, same time in it. Scientists say there's a mathematical phenomenon at work here called holographic duality theory. Juan Maldacena, an Argentine theoretical physicist, discovered the concept in 1997, which states that events inside a space with gravity, like a black hole, are mathematically equivalent to gravity events on the surface of that space that involves particles. Joanne, I have no idea what the freak he just said. In other words, thank you for scrolling me to the in other words part, Joanne, because I don't know what the hell he just said. In other words, the holographic duality theory could hold the secret link between particle physics, the study of tiny particles that make up all matter, and Einstein's theory of general relativity. You know what, Joanne? This is a serious science, story. You don't give me the serious science stories. Nobody wants a freaking Neil deGrasse Tyson story. We're going to have 9 plus x to the squared 14, and we're going to take it and bring it over here. We're going to dump a freaking Joe Biden double diaper on it. I'm not interested in double diaper. I'd rather watch this game that's on right here. You know what I mean? Who wants a double diaper? Joe Biden, right in the middle of that story. I'm just saying, some people are thinking bigger, you know. Next story on the list, Joanne, what do we got? Russia-Ukraine war. New York, this is scary. New York City on ultra high alert amid increased risk of Russian retaliatory cyber attack. Guys, no good. New York State is facing increased risk of cyber attack from Russian retaliators, while city agents have seen more breach attempts amid heightened tensions that have arisen from Russian invasion of Ukraine. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a New York Democrat, met with New York City and police department officials on Monday morning. The New York Police Department has found no specific credible. Joanne, credible? What is a credible? Don't force me to speak quickly. She's always like, we got to get through this. You got to play a song still. I know, I get it. Russia's military attack on Ukraine's cities and buildings have happened in conjunction with cyber attacks waged on Ukraine's critical infrastructure, from its banks to departments of government, Gillibrand told reporters at NYPD headquarters in Manhattan. And there's no guarantee that those attacks will be limited to Ukraine. Following the sanctions that the U.S. and our allies have levied on Russia, there's an increased risk that Russia will carry out retaliatory cyber attacks, particularly against New York State infrastructure and individuals. You know, I'm just wondering, do you guys, when you're sitting here watching me be a fool and read these stories, because I realize the cool thing about this is they're right here on the screen. So essentially, while I'm reading these, I assume you're reading them with me, and you realize that what you're seeing is what you're seeing. But I got a whole other deal going on here with my teleprompter. Joanne's moving it at Mach 3. Yo, Joanne, what are we doing? You know, but you guys are getting like another one. Just a random one that's some. Zabrosk left already. I can't blame Zabrosk. We'll find someone. What's that, David? David over there says he'll handle it. No, David, I don't need you to do that. I need you to worry about Joanne. That wheeze is getting to me, okay? Maybe you get some WD-40? We can't work with David. He's stuck in the corner over there doing his thing. So, guys, we're dealing with some serious stuff going down. I don't want a cyber attack. You don't want a cyber attack. Miller, who spent years served as the leader of intelligence and counterterrorism, said the city was scanned thousands of times a day, millions of times a year as a city entity. Yeah, freaking right. You know how big the city is? It's scanned thousands of times a day. Well, they do have cameras everywhere. They could. Theoretically, they could scan anything for like suspicious activity. We haven't had any I don't want to say that. That's the bad thing. You don't go out there and say that. We haven't had any compromises. Freaking jerk. You don't ever. That's like the guy, he hasn't missed a field goal in 3 years. Freaking, as he's about to kick the field goal that wins the Super Bowl, he shanks it. First field goal miss in forever. He never missed. He's on a streak. This guy's on a streak. He's never missed a field goal. 13 years. What a friggin' streak this guy's going, right? He's never missed a freaking field goal. Shanks it. These freaking broadcasters, they throw the. It happens all the time. Tell me, right? You're watching it, and you got like the guy who's up for that. He's Joe DiMaggio. He's up for 57 games. He did 56. Like 57 games. This guy can hit a ball anytime. He's gonna get it. He's gonna do 100 games in a row. Oh look, he's the best batter in history. He's never gonna freaking whiffs it. 4 at bats, 0 for 4 that game. Every other time prior, they were like, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna keep the streak going. This guy's like, this guy's the freaking best. He's gonna 4 for 4 today. You don't ever jinx somebody like that, like saying stuff like this. Like, no, we haven't had any sort of misconstrue. What do we have? What did he say again? I don't even freaking know what he said. It's stupid. You don't say we haven't had any compromises. But it hasn't been for a lack of trying or a lack of very well-built response. Look, at the end of the day, guys, I live close to New York City. I hope that this isn't true. I hope that there's not going to be a cyber attack that does something and messes with us. I mean, honestly, I got to say something here that really baffles me. This may be part of my rant for the day. I should find this clip for you guys. About 5 months ago, Sleepy Poopy Pants met with President Putin. Maybe a year ago, met with President Putin. Maybe a year and a half ago. Joe Sleepy Poopy Pants met with President Putin. And he comes out afterwards and I should do a face of this. Look, just want to let you know I had a really good meeting with President Putin. And I gave him a list of 16 targets in the United States that he absolutely, under no circumstances, should ever attack. Somebody find me that video, please. There is literally a video how he says he went into detail about the 16 locations that will absolutely destroy the United States of America. The infrastructure, the supply lines, the energy, fuel, every way to attack us. Joe Biden told him and said, don't do it. Here's how you could hurt us. Don't do it. The guy who's out there now potentially going to drop nukes on people, our president of the United States told him how he could disassemble our country. 16 ways to do it. These 16 most crucial ways that we can go down, he told Vladimir Putin. I remember when I heard that happen and when he came out and bragged about it, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? He told the enemy all of our weak points where he could apply pressure? Woo! This guy, and everybody lets him go, unfreaking real. He shuts down a supply chain only to tell us, or the gas line in Russia, only to tell us that they do that in order to hurt a country. He shut down our pipeline, guys, intentionally to hurt our country, to raise gas prices. before I switched over to an electric car, which I still don't have back. I'm going on 2 months next week. This freaking car. First series. I was paying $2.20 for super. And that was when I got rid of the car in October. In August. Maybe it was a little more than $2.20 at that time, but when Trump left office, it was $2.20. It was actually closer to $3.15 and $3.20 when it was already up into the threes when I got rid of my car. That's why this guy's such a piece of garbage. Like, you shut down, we were energy independent for the first time in 53 years. Nope, we're going to shut down the pipeline. We're going to give it to Russia. Let's let Russia have the pipeline. And then we'll buy the gas from them. And then you guys pay more for the gas that we're buying from Russia. Now they shut down their connection with Russia only to come out and tell us what they did to our country day one when they signed the executive order. We are applying sanctions against Russia. And one of those sanctions, one of the biggest sanctions, is to shut down their gas pipeline. That hurts Russia. I was so upset when I heard about how they shut down 40,000 jobs. The Keystone Pipeline. But it goes beyond that. It's not even the 40,000 jobs that we should be upset about. It's the fact that they knowingly, intentionally hurt our nation with that stroke of a pen. That's not new information. That all of a sudden, when they decide to sanction Russia and hurt their economy by stopping their pipeline, that's not new information that hurting their country happens when they shut down their pipeline. They knew it, they did it, but they did it in our homeland. They instead said, we'll bring in Russian oil and gas and pay them more, i.e. us, pay them more, $3, $3.20, $3.30, whatever you add now. Pardon me. This is like amazing. Then you have Jen Psaki, a crappy. She's doing her thing, trying to tell everybody that, we're only paying higher gas prices because of the war. Are you freaking kidding me? That's not new, Psaki, a crappy. That is not new. That has been for the last year and 9-10 months. As soon as Trump was gone, as soon as you signed that friggin' executive order, oh, look, no, we don't need a pipeline. We don't need 40,000 jobs. You don't? You don't know what you freaking need because you don't even know where the frig you are. I feel bad for that man. That man should not be president. That man is not president. Freaking, this is the most corrupt world. It's the most corrupt world. There's no way a man now who's got, 32% approval rating, but he got 80 million votes. Come on. His approval rating now actually tells me closer to where he really was. There's no right answer here. All I can say is that we've been lied to for 2+ years now. The narrative was so bad that so many of us were able to see through it. And I feel bad for those who had to comply because of the pressure, the overwhelming, unending pressure forced upon every soul on this planet. There's a unified effort, mind you, a unified effort on all countries, all governments, all behalfs. We're going to go out there and unify in this, force this. That was my red flag. It's like Antarctica all over 1959, was it? 58, 59 when the Antarctica Treaty. It's like the world's never join on a uniform front. And now we're dealing with this whole deal with Ukraine, and it's just scary because I think one of the stories here, I'm not sure if I pulled it up, but this is bad, guys. Like, if this is true, you don't want to go out there and say that Vladimir Putin is bluffing on anything. That dude is freaking nuts. And I'm not saying he's like crazy out of his mind, like totally insane. He may have a touch of that, but I don't think so. I think he's cunning. I think that he is willing to kill many, He bombed a children's hospital. What the freak would you bomb a hospital for? And I know the reason is because he doesn't want people to be able to heal once they get hurt. Once he bombs their villages and kills more people. And when I was looking at the damage and I was looking at the impact of this bomb that they dropped, my first thought was, what kind of world are we living in that somebody, some country, anyone would want to kill that many people and destroy that much just at all? Forget about for, like, I can't put my head on it. Like, they'll just go and murder people that are innocents. And I wanted to point out the other day, because I think it's accurate, something that we should be talking about. The media here is so full of, there's no truth here at all in this country, that what they do is they paint these people as war criminals and evil and Hitler reincarnate and all these things. And I'm like, this is a guy who's making moves for his country. And yeah, they're messed up. But we're here in this country, and all we're hearing this freaking biased, that's why I want to point out something. We heard nothing but lies for 2+ years. You better believe you're not getting truth all of a sudden now. Okay? It's the same stuff you got for 2 years. You have to read through what's going on, because I don't know what it is. I have no idea what's going on, but it's not what they tell you it is. And I fear for us, because we had a president that everybody hated so much, and they were so afraid that he had his hand on the trigger and he'd be the one who could drop a nuke. We didn't have a war under Trump. We had peace around this world when Trump was in office. The first president that I think first president that has not had a war. Is that true? The first president without a war on his belt? Could someone tell me if that's true? I think I could think back now that, like, we're back in a war. I mean, Trump had Afghanistan, so he was still there. He was getting out, and we were still there. So no, he was still but he didn't start a war, is my point. Trump did not start a war when he was in office. He was there continuing on some crazy, stupid thing that was going on. But the point is not even about Trump. I want to also make that point. Everybody wants to talk about Trump still. What the freak? Leave the guy alone. What the hell? This is a guy who 4 years of service, didn't get paid, donated his salary every year. And for 4 years, every single day, all he got was slings and arrows. There's people freaking throwing rocks at him and hatred and calling him names and creating clips that are so freaking full of crap and building narratives based on false clips. Everything they created about Trump was a lie. Not everything. He's crass. Says a lot of things that are off base, and he definitely goes over the line a lot. But that's what we needed in this country, was we needed somebody who was going to not be a career politician. And what do? We give it back to a guy who never did anything for himself. He was in office for 47 years, did nothing. 8 years he was a vice president, did nothing. All of a sudden, when people were like, he's going to do so much, and he's in his freaking basement for that full year, I was like, you guys are nuts. He's going to do nothing, just like he did for 47 years. Except now he'll be in the driver's seat, and people like Putin will be like, I could freaking run all over this dude. I heard a great analogy on TikTok. Someone the other day said, if Trump was in office right now, you think that Biden or that Putin would be doing this in Ukraine? The guy goes, no, absolutely not. And he goes, I don't even like Trump. He goes, but he definitely wouldn't do it. And he goes, why? And he said, you ever had that teacher in school that you didn't want to mess with, because he's just something you didn't know what he was going to do. Like, he's just a crazy teacher. And I remember I had a few of those too. Like, you didn't want to mess with that teacher. He's going to throw you out of the class, send you down to the principal. So he said, that's Trump. So when people, he says a lot of stupid stuff, He tweets a lot of really, really mean things, whatever. He said, but that's not what you should care about. You care about a president who's doing the best for his country. His focus is getting the best for his country. And this guy's an English guy. And he goes, as far as I could see, Donald Trump did that. He tried his best. He said, and for all I could say, he goes, he tried his best to do his best for his country. And he said, and the people in his country hated him. He said, but for the rest of the world, we all feared him and we actually liked him because we saw him as a strong leader. So take that for what you will, but we have the fake news, National Enquirer, mainstream media here who destroyed a good man, not a good man, but a good president because they could not stand the concept of having so many career politicians go down the friggin' drain. Bottom line, I don't think there are more than 3 to 5% good-hearted people that are in this country running this country. Isn't it interesting that all they do is talk about passing these new plans that are trillions of dollars. Like right now, there's a new plan on the table for $1 trillion+ to keep the government going. And I'm like, fire some of these what are we talking about? You're taking all of this money from all of us. They're doing another $1.3 trillion to keep themselves paid. These a-holes did not lose a bit of their salaries during COVID. They continued to collect. They did not have to get bugaboos. They were not mandated to do it. And they made you guys all feel like you were the problem when they were obviously clearly not bugabooed because they did not have to get bugabooed. So it's just a shame. It's just a shame that we live in a world of evil. And that the governments of this world could be working in collusion to try to harm people and potentially. I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying could. Theoretically, some of the things that have been going on are not good, guys. It's not good that where we are today is exactly where every skeptic who they shut down, suppressed, and destroyed for the last 2 years has said, we are. This isn't going to work. We're going to do this, that, another thing. Where are we today? Didn't work, whatever. They freaking rolled under the covers with this Ukraine war. Oh, geez, that didn't work. Okay, let's just take the masks off. Get back to normal. Nobody will know any different. There's a Ukraine war. All in a month. Back to normal. Nobody's wearing masks. Everybody back to normal. Wait a second. I thought everybody's getting the unvax of the problem. And those guys are the ones that didn't do the bugaboo. Those people are the ones you should hate and shame. Oh, no, in a month we got to pretend to sweep it under the rug, Why is it? Maybe because of the papers that you wanted to try to hide for 75 years from us? Why would you just care, if you could share this one with me, why would you hold information from the public for 75 years, sir? Oh, perhaps it's because, I don't know, maybe there's something in there that you could really, really get in trouble for. Maybe there's some fraud. Maybe it's something where in your mind, you say, by the time this is released, the generation that reads this says, holy freaking cow, this is crimes against humanity. But you know what? Who cares? We weren't there. Let's move on, man. Why haven't we heard about JFK yet? Why haven't we heard about what really happened with JFK, what they have on JFK? That was supposed to be at like 2020, and then they pushed it back. The freaking Democrats. You know why? Listen, when somebody from the government goes and they prolong something and it's from a specific party, it's because they are criminally involved in something they don't want anybody specifically to see. If the Republicans were involved in something, the Democrats would not go and say, hey, we want to hold this off for another 15 years, another 35 years, whatever it was that Pelosi did. I think it was Pelosi who did this. Well, let's see if we could pull this up real quick. I want to know. JFK, let's see what comes up with JFK docs. JFK will not be released until... Let's see what this says. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Let's see. I thought I heard something that it was being pushed to like 2035 or something like that. Did anybody see that? Hold on. White House delays. Okay. White House delays the. Let's put this on the screen. Let's put this on the screen. We can look at this one together. So we know obviously Zelensky's this nuclear thing. You don't want to go and tempt Putin by saying he's bluffing. Okay. Bottom line, don't do it. Here we go. This story right here, guys. I don't even know when this was from. This is from October of 2021. But we're going to get into this story. White House delays the release of secret JFK assassination records, citing COVID-19. So these, oh, geez, it didn't. Is this showing? It won't let me actually. It won't let me scroll it. Look at that freaking sleep sofa right there. Let me see what it says. Maybe I can read it to you at least. The White House has announced that a trove of remaining records concerning the assassination of former President JFK will not be released as planned due to the pandemic. Congress declared in 1992 that all government records surrounding Kennedy's assassination should be eventually disclosed to enable the public to become fully informed about the history surrounding the assassination. But a part of the law also says that the release of these records can be postponed if their public disclosure would cause identifiable harm to military intelligence, law enforcement, or foreign operations. The National Archives says it needs more time. Let's see. In a memo released Friday, the White House said the National Archives and Records Administration has concluded that because of COVID-19 pandemic, it requires additional time to consult with government agencies to determine how much more information about the 1963 assassination can be released. According to the memo, the Archivist of the United States has told the White House that making these decisions is a matter that requires the professional, scholarly, and orderly process, not decisions or releases made in haste. Instead, the archivist and White House have agreed that the full disclosure of the records will be postponed until December 15th, 2022. Let's see. That's coming up, guys. 2022, more than 250,000 records have already been released, but many of the only available on video, whatever. At the end of the day, guys, you can go check out a lot of the stuff, apparently. So maybe there's more there than we know. Check this next story out, Joe, and what do we got? Ernest Shackleton's ship Endurance, lost since 1915, is found off Antarctica. This is pretty cool, guys. An expedition that set out in search of a lost ship, the polar explorer Ernest Shackleton has found it 106 years after the vessel sank off Antarctica. The wooden ship Endurance has been located remarkably intact, about 10,000 feet underwater in the Weddell Sea. The find is a milestone in polar history, said Menson Bound. Joanne, I wonder if he's bound for the ship. He's going to go and he's going to get his Menson on. Menson Bound. That's quite a freaking name. Imagine when you go and you're ordering a pizza, you know? Sure. What would you like on it? Freaking throw some roni on top. All right. No, sounds good. Be about a half hour. What's your name? Menson. What? By Menson. When Menson came down, he tried to steal the slogan of by Menon, and he came out there and he's down it. He's like, by Menson. And they're like, no, I'm sorry. You're not allowed to do that. You can't do that. We have a copyright on it. We have a copyright on by Menon. And when you come in and you take the tones of by Menson and you do it without coming and getting a clearance first from by Menon. If you don't do it, you by Menon, come and buy, hey, look, I got a new product. What's it called? By Menson. What are you guys offering? Just kind of Menson-y things, you know? Whatever, when you were down there and you're trying to figure out, you know, what kind of lawn products to get, check out our new brand, Menson Lawn Products by Menson. It's taking over in Yugoslavia. What's that, Joanne? No, I know Joanne. She said she's a shareholder. The find is a milestone and polar hash. All right, guys, look at that. Ooh, that's the Endurance right there. What's that on the side of the ship? It looks like, oh, that's like is that a jellyfish with like I don't even know what the hell that is, guys. That's some creepy stuff. Shackleton's trans-Antarctic expedition went dangerously awry. As World War I was beginning in 1914, Joanne, the British explorer Shackleton set out to traverse Antarctica. That was his first issue. He ran into the ice wall. The plan was for Shackleton to take 27 men on 2 ships, the Endurance and the Aurora, that would arrive at different locations of the continent to explore 2 routes by which to sledge across the ice. But in January 1915, the Endurance became trapped in ice off the coast of Antarctica. The men lived on the ship for months, but pressure from the ice began to slowly crush it. On October 27, 1915, Shackleton gave the order to abandon the Endurance. The men were told to gather no more than 2 pounds each of personal gear from the ship. Much of the ship's supplies had already become inaccessible because of broken timbers in the hull. The Endurance finally broke up and sank into the Weddell Sea on November 21st, 1915, Joanne. No, I know. Say a prayer for the ship. The crew made a new camp on the ice floe, and any ambition to cross Antarctica dissipated. The mission was now one of survival. A saga that would stretch into August 1916 before all the men were rescued. The Aurora also became trapped in ice. 3 men from the voyage died before the final members of the crew were rescued in early 1917. As you see there in the middle, that's Ernest Shackleton, and he's doing it, you know. Look, get another room. There he is. Nope, that's not him. These are new people. That's Jonathan Shackleton is his great-great-grandson. He's taking over for the family just to make sure they can recover the ship. But look, there you go, Ernest. He's doing it there. Ernest went to Antarctica. I miss those movies. Next story on the list, Joanne, what do we got? Oh, this is a good one, Joanne. Did you hear about this? NASA is now opening a vacuum-sealed sample it took from the moon 50 years ago, Joanne. No, I know. They never went. Let's see. 50 years ago, astronauts on one of NASA's Apollo missions hammered a pair of tubes 14 inches long into the surface of the moon. One of the tubes were filled with rocks and soil. The astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Jack Schmidt vacuum sealed one of the tubes while the other was put in a normal unsealed container, Joanne. Both were brought back to Earth, from Earth to Earth. Now, scientists at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston are preparing to carefully open the first tube, which has remained tightly sealed all these years, since 1972, when they bore a hole here on planet Earth and put it in and vacuum sealed it. Apollo 17 mission, the last time humans set foot on Antarctica, calling it the moon. Why so long? To take advantage of the technology of the future? We could only do it then. You know, we don't have the technology anymore. We only had it in 16 kilobytes. Computer systems. We're working on KB RAM. No, I know, Joanne. We're up to teraflops now, but still, we don't have the technology to go to the moon anymore. We can't figure it out. We're not smart enough. We don't have even like the tools. We don't even have the materials. 1960s. Now is 2020. We don't have the materials anymore. Stupid. You know? Why don't you just go now? Because we don't freaking have the materials. We don't have the capacity of the technology to go anymore. We did back in 1969 when we could 64 kilobytes of memory in total. And we were doing a pan. We're panning from Cape Canaveral in real time, by the way, 256,000 miles away. I'm real timing it. Oh, they're showing up. They're popping off the moon now. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get the we want to pan that camera up. I want to see it take off. Let's get it right. Okay, Jim, make sure you got the toggle. Jim's toggling it. You got to do. Perfect shot, by the way. All from Cape Canaveral, 265,000 miles away. Doing it. The unsealed tube. Opened in 2019. The lunar soil had been preserved, and the sample offered insight into subjects like landslides in airless places. Because the sample being opened now has been sealed, it may contain something in addition to rocks and soil. Gas. Like Joanne. Joanne's like filled with it. You know, I am on the receiving end. I shouldn't have breathed in through my nose just now. Even in my mouth. I do micro breathing. You do micro breathing when you got Joanne in the studio with you and she's tooting it up, you know? Joanne. The tube. No, I was just saying I don't want to talk to you. No, I was just saying your name like I'm disgusted with your smell. No, don't breathe in my direction, and absolutely don't eat any more of those beans that I made for you earlier that you still have plenty of in front of you. Microwaving them. Joanne. No, Joanne. Not trying to talk to you, just disgusted with you. The tube could contain substances known as volatiles, which evaporate at normal temperatures, such as water and ice and carbon dioxide. The materials at the bottom of the tube were extremely cold at the time they were collected. The amount of these gases, as a sample, expected to be very low, so scientists are using a special device called a manifold, designed by a team at Washington University in St. Louis to extract and collect gases. Another tool was developed at the European Space Agency to pierce and sample the capturing gases as they escape. Scientists there have called the tool the Apollo can opener. The careful process of opening and capturing has begun, and so far, so good. The seal on the inner sample tube seemed to be intact. Now the piercing process is underway with a special can opener. No, Joanne, we're not going to get you one of those. Ready to trap whatever gases might come out. Maybe we need one to have the gases escape of Joanne's, wheeze and her tooting. I want to just push it out the backside, not coming out in the front, If there are gases in the sample, scientists will be able to use modern mass spectrometry technology to identify them. Joanne, they're doing it. I'm done with that story. One more story and we're done with it, Joanne. What do we got? Ooh, gigantic impact crater is much older than scientists thought. Joanne. Oh, a hidden impact crater in northwestern Greenland dates back some 58 million years ago, making it far older than previous estimates. The challenge now will be find further evidence of what was surely a massively disruptive global scale event. I have to imagine there's some serious, meteorite materials there, right? Who's getting their freaking metal detector out and going up there to Greenland? I'm going to get my little bounty hunter, metal detector. And I'm going up there. I'm going to find cobalt, magnesium. Can't think of any more. I mean, look, Joanne, you're not helping at all. You're back there. You could have fed me a few, The dating of sand and rocks associated with the impact event enabled an international team of researchers to derive a new estimate. The Greenland crater, measuring 19 miles wide, was only discovered 7 years ago, and it's buried under a 3,200-foot thick Hiawatha Glacier, making it a challenging object to study. We were very surprised. So, Joanne, don't go there with your bounty hunter. It's under a glacier. It's not accessible. We were very surprised that the crater was 58 million years old. Nicolaj Larsen, a geoscientist at the University of Copenhagen and a co-author of the new study, told me in an email. All the circumstantial evidence we had so far suggested that the crater was so much younger, and from a period when the Greenland ice shelf existed. Guys, bottom line, it's there. It's under a bunch of ice. You're not getting it. That's it, Joanne. I'm done with your dumb stories for today. You give me those stories, you expect me to do them? I did it. Guys, I'm going to play you one song here because I have a lot of work to do. Real estate be calling, yeah. I want to say thank you to Wendy for sending me a referral down in, I won't say where, but to sending me a referral. I'm here, guys, if you ever need any help in real estate, if you ever want to buy, sell, you ever want to get some information, you're looking for a good real estate agent wherever you live, give me a note, shoot me a note. Mark, actually it's mp@markpires.com. I'll just give you that to you. mp@markpires.com. And of course interesting. Happy to help out. And if you're in Connecticut or New York, I can actually work with you personally. If not, I will find you someone really awesome wherever you are. So tomorrow real estate is a calling. So let me quickly play you one thing here. Take a track. Grab a bowl of cereal because I got some work to do. What do we got? This is the Mark Pires music playlist, which has 332 songs. I think what I'm going to put on for you is the Freedom Convoy song. Because the world needs to freaking hear this, and everybody needs to be sharing this thing. Freedom Convoy, no mandate anthem. This is what this is called. I'm popping it on. You can get this on iTunes. You can get this on Spotify. It's free to listen to on Spotify. Right after you hear it, it's called Freedom Convoy. Mark Pires, Freedom Convoy. My Justin Trudeau impression, front and center. My fellow Canadians, check it out. Freedom Convoy said, is this an ode to terrorists? No, not at all. This is a song about freedom. It's funny how people can actually now, this is where we are in 2022, when freedom can be connected to terrorism. It's so crazy to me. People want to keep their freedom and they're considered terrorists. It's so freaking crazy. So that's the nuts part of this world. Like, there used to be a thing about peaceful protesting. It's only okay when the left does that. And they don't do it peacefully. They freaking riot, and nobody does a thing. They let them riot and freaking destroy buildings and burn cities. Nothing to see here. But then when people who care about their freedom stand up and say, no, you won't force me to do something that I don't agree with, those people are terrorists. It's crazy. So anyway, the other thing I should point out too, because PLA, to point out, I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the TV since December 31st, 2018. I write songs live in the moment, and one day Jeffrey said to me, can you write a song about the Freedom Convoy? Now, when this was going on, they were literally feeding me content in the chat because I didn't know anything about it. I knew it was in Canada. At the time, I knew it was in Canada, and I knew a couple things. I knew the word Ottawa, that it was something to do with Ottawa. I think Ottawa, I'm not sure, even now because I don't watch. But I took a bunch of stuff that was being said in the chat, and I made a song up live in the moment and did my Justin Trudeau impression all in one. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Oh, awesome. Yeah, come over on YouTube, brother. That's where it's best anyway. You'll be able to see the whole thing. Here we go. And I appreciate your comments. Like I said, I'm a believer of everybody having their opinion out there, and we should all be respectful of each other's opinions.
My name is Joel Littman.
Hey, Joel.
I'm a forensic accountant, which might sound boring to you.
Totally. We're done. Let me flip this screen here.
Get behind the wheel tonight. I got a ride.
No.
Into the fearless squadron of fight. Gonna take on the man ain't so popular these days.
My fellow Canadians, it's time we all come together and we get a bugaboo to protect our neighbors. If you don't do it, you're not a Canadian. And I could be Liam Neeson's son. We're not sure, but I have a certain set of skills.
Freedom's up, yeah,
communism down. Yeah, freedom's all we got. Yeah, we're gonna sound the horns in. Going all day and night, 7 mile long. Yeah, got on silver record, not like we tried to do it. Just trying to fight for our freedom in 2022. Who knew we had to put it all on the line? Yeah, a crazy time, yeah, we're living in. Crazy time we're living in. Got a freedom convoy. Down the line, no one's getting by, no block the way, yeah, till we get our say. You gotta get your bugaboo, gotta do mandate for everyone, that's what you gotta do, even though don't stop anything, no, and you're gonna spread it too, but you gotta get your bugaboo, that's what we're gonna make it do. But the truckers say no effing way, I'm gonna bring my shotgun in the back if I gotta fight you. I'll do what I gotta do. The freedom convoy. The freedom convoy. No stopping the freedom convoy. Freedom convoy. Get on the news and call us what you want. You can think that you got the people's ear, but you got people living in fear. Yeah, and we ain't stopping. No, that's clear. Yeah, we ain't no fringe or majority. No, gonna take the fight to you. So truckers, please stop this madness and get your bugaboos. If you want to continue to work, you got to get your bugaboo. If you want to continue to go out to eat, you got to get the bugaboo. If you want to get some milk from the store, you got to get the bugaboo. You got to get the bugaboo. The bugaboo. You got to get the bugaboo. You got to get the bugaboo. You gotta do. Gotta get the bugaboo. Gotta get a bugaboo to do. If you don't get 2, then you gotta get 3 more. After then you're gonna show the door. Let's call everyone the misinformation. Yeah, oh, what's the real information? Yeah, it seems like it's a changing every day. Well, listen to you. Get the freedom convoy. Got the freedom convoy. Take the one ride all the way down the highway to Ottawa. Say 70 miles long, ride the crazy train. Yeah, oh, the freedom train. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, freedom train. My fellow Canadians, I'm sorry I failed you. But get your bugaboo. Oh, goodness.
If you have blood pressure above 130/80, this is an urgent
goodness.
message that could save your life.
Make sure you get that bugaboo. That's what they're telling you when you're watching it. You're like, oh, good, I got my bugaboo. Oh, my goodness. So I hope that was exactly what I said it was, my friend, PLA. And I think PLA is actually coming over here to watch on Tube. So I hope you guys say hi to PLA. Guys, it's interesting, but showing up for 1,164 days in a row, my mission has been kind of clear. It's to try to reach anybody out there that's into a positive message, anybody out there that wants to connect and wants to put the negativity aside for just a little bit each day. And so if that's you, give me a follow, because we do it every day forever. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because there's so many different perspectives in the world, and people really want to butt heads. In 2021, 2022, it seems to be where we're going is just butt heads, and let's debate topics that our parents told us never to discuss, like religion, politics, and money. And let's do it at length and at nauseum, and to the point where people are so targeted and drawn in, and they have to start throwing evil at each other. Like, I'd rather do this every day. Show up here and make you laugh. Show up here and read you 7 stories. Play a couple songs for you. And rant a little bit about something. So tomorrow, for day 1165 in a row, I want you guys to know something. I'm dropping perhaps one of the funniest news stories yet, involving Joanne and the porta potty. And who was here last night for the porta potty story, or 2 nights ago for the porta potty story? Oh my goodness. It's completely insane. Completely insane. But I think we had some good stories tonight too. Like, I don't know. It's tough, guys, because we do an hour of the news every day, and then I could drop like the full hour as a news story the next day, but like I don't want to do an hour. No one's going to watch an hour of news, so I do these little 3-minute clips or 5-10-minute clips of each story. There's 7 stories, so theoretically there's 70 minutes I could drop each day. It's like, hey, here's the story on the Queen. I did that, was 2 minutes. The story on, I'm going to share these links with you guys so you know they're here. Let me see. Right here, for example. We're coming for your crypto. That just dropped. I'm going to share that with you, okay? That just dropped. There's 22 views on it, and that would be nice if you guys went over and checked it out. It dropped a couple hours ago. That's the link right there. Give it a quick smasharoo and go over to it. Bangaroo on it. And then I dropped Justin Trudeau, and he channels Liam Neeson and Fidel Castro. That's over here. And then, of course, we have our face swap, which you guys know I dropped and played for you earlier this episode, which was Joe Sleepy Poopy Pants and doing it. But the lead story from yesterday, I just wanted a sip, was from yesterday. That was great. That's where I'm having a trouble with the straw. There's so many funny things happening here, guys. You just tune in. Join me every day when we drop these crazy things. God and the Big Bang, the real story of how everything exists today. I'm giving you that one. That was a freaking ridiculous one. God's banging out. Woo! I'll tell you what, there was an ashy coochie thing earlier that we gotta get. I gotta make sure I drop that one as well tomorrow. Guys, so keep your eye out. Telegram the friggin' hell out of the show. Where's the Telegram? Can one of the family members drop the Telegram in? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on before we go. Telegram, we send notes to each other. And all day long, I'm dropping stuff in the Telegram. So when the shorts go out there, I drop in the Telegram. When my full clips go out, drop them in the Telegram. And when we go live every single night, one of us, if it's not me, somebody says, "We are live." So the one thing I will tell you from 3+ years every single day is YouTube does not tell anybody that I'm live. In fact, I have a Beat Seat YouTube page. For the Beat Seat, my invention. I never get notifications. Rarely I'll get a notification that I'm live or that a new piece of content's live. And I subscribe to my channel. So I know that they don't send it out to anybody. So if you want to know when I am live, if you want to know when a new piece of content is out there, and you are having a good time on the Renaissance Man Show, hit that Telegram up right there, and you can get it over here on TikTok in my link tree. My link tree has everything. Hit the YouTube page, join us over there. And check out the 2,000 plus pieces of content that you've missed so far. What? Yeah, I know, Joanne. Joanne says I'm in 85 of them. I know, Joanne, you're in 85 of the 2,000 clips. You are welcome. I'm here. I'm doing it. She's back there wheezing it, and she wants credit? I told you yesterday, she wants to have like Mark Pyre's Renaissance Mansion and the Weezer. And it's like the, the radio show. We're like, it's Mark Pyre's and the Weezer. And you're like, oh, how's the Weezer doing today? And she's like, you're like, God, all freaking mighty. I forgot why I don't tune into 97.4. I got the 97.4. It's the one that nobody wanted. Thanks, Joanne, for that one. Weezeroo. Anyway, fam and friends, let me say goodnight to you. So if you are here, say goodnight or forever hold your peace. Remember, I will thank you personally. James Wagner, my brother, I want to thank you so much for hanging with me. I'm going to give you a follow real quick over here. Oh, it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. But James, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for watching. And I want to thank you guys over here, obviously, on YouTube, the fam and friends that have been here supporting me every day. I love you guys. That is Bobby Chizzy, Chris Donaldson, Ed, our brother, one of our newest family members, Kill It, and Agarelet. When we're killing it and grilling it, that's some good eating. You know what I mean? Like, some people are like, I don't really know if I want good eating. I'm like, well, then don't call Kill It and Grill It. You want to go and get some microprocessed food, frozen dish, like you're talking about like a Swanson's TV dinner? You want to do a Swanson's TV dinner. I want to do it, Kill It and Grill It and get it fresh as I can do. Just killed the deer. Venison on the grill within 30 minutes. Are we allowed to do it that way? Kill it and grill it? Are we allowed to kill the deer and eat it within 30? Throw it on the grill? I want to have sear marks. I want to still hear noises when I'm chewing on it. What the frig is that? Kill it. Did you cook this deer? This venison? Did you cook the venison before you decided to let me eat it? You're doing a raw doggy? I'm doing a raw dogger on the deer. Kill and grill is just like, I thought you said you wanted to, really taste the flesh. I thought you were okay with getting a little, like squeak every time you took a bite. You're just like, there's something happening inside. There's still some life left, and you're just you're extinguishing the life. And with every bite, carnivorous, But that's what the Kill It and Grill It style. When you're killing it and you're grilling it, you're doing it. You better leave it with the heart pumping a little. Story for the children by the fire one day when they're 2. You don't tell them at 7, it's too old. 2. Beating heart, chewing on it, the flesh. 2-year-old kid gets it. He's going like this. Kill it and grill it. Oh, goodness. Andrew Golan, my brother, I love you, bud. Bobby Chizzy, love you. Chris Donaldson, you know I love you. Ed, my brother, you know I love you. And we're talking about Kill It and Grill It. My man, you know I love it when we get the grill on. I'm talking about bringing it. I'll bring the barbecue sauce, but it's not good. I think you got better barbecue sauce. I'm getting the one from the freaking store. It's a Stu Leonard's makes a good one. It's a Tangaroo one. It's got the kick, but it's got some tang. I'm digging on it. And it's a Stu Leonard's. I'll tell you about it. I'll bring it. I'll bring it to the barbecue. You make some with yours. You slap on yours. With the baster. You're doing a baster deal on your chicken and on your beef and meat. Staking it. And I'm going over here with the Stu Leonard's version. I'm basting it too. Look at me. Look at that. Kill it and grill it. Look at me. You're there and I'm here. We're doing it together. Baste it, ruin it. And then we're going to do a taste test. Hey, no. Kill it. Need you to turn around. Doing the old Pepsi Coke taste test. You turn around. Okay, which one's the Stu Leonard's? Which one's your, crafted in the back? Like you did it with all the spices, the seasonings, and you threw in a little bourbon. You made it happen with a special sauce. That was yours, and then I did the one from Stu Leonard's. Which one is it? Every time you pick Stu Leonard's. I know. They figured out the formula. So, Yardbird's my brother. Virgo Spike. Virgo Psych in the house. Virgo, when are we having you on the show? We need to have a little conversation over here. Talk about this, what the hell's going on with this creativity here on the daily basis and living in the moment, and how we can talk about how we can access the chambers of our creativity and bring everything that's useful in life to the surface. Channel our greatest self. That's what I want to talk about with Virgo, is channeling our greatest selves. So, Yardbirds, you rock. Love you. Virgo Psych, love you. Trish Killian, love you. S-Coop, love you. Pamela Swan, love you. Killed and Grill It, I love you. And you're cooking in that freaking awesome venison. Ed 4627, love you. Chris Donalds, and I love you. Bobby Chizzy, you know I love you, brother. And Andrew Golden. I think I see someone else coming in. Kenneth Davis in the house with the Vord on it. You're doing the Kenneth. You know, Kenneth, you couldn't have some creepy name, weird name like Javik Schluvenleven? I like it better when you're Javik Schluvenleven. It's easy, it's more fun for me to make fun of than being Kenneth, who's there pushing out some weird website deal. Anyway, fam and friends, tomorrow we do it all over again, so make sure you hit that Telegram. It's right there in the freaking thing. Telegram it. Until tomorrow. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. You got to go away. Yeah, 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 yeah. Till tomorrow, fam. Till tomorrow.